The first time Sonia saw the bruise, Faith smiled and said she hit the door. But Sonia didn't believe her. It was a Sunday afternoon in Lagos. The family had gathered in their mother's house in Lekki after church. The dining table was full. Rice, stew, grilled chicken, salad, soft drinks. Everything looked fine on the outside. The kind of family scene people post online with captions about love and blessings. But Sonia had lived long enough to know some families look perfect only in pictures. Faith kept adjusting her scarf, laughing too quickly, forcing herself to act normal. Sonia watched her from across the room. She noticed the way Faith flinched when her phone buzzed. She noticed the fear in her eyes each time Kenneth's name appeared. She noticed how Faith kept checking the time, like someone counting down to trouble. Sonia was the first daughter, the Ada of the family. Strong, sharp, respected. She built her fashion house from nothing into one of the most talked about brands in Lagos. Influencers wore her pieces. Brides booked her months ahead. Her life was in order. Money, class, discipline. But love had always disappointed her. Some men came because of what she had. Some wanted control. Some were threatened by her strength. One even asked her to transfer part of her company to him before marriage. He called it proof of trust. Sonia laughed and blocked him that same day. So when she looked at Faith, she was not just looking as a sister. She was looking as a woman who understood danger when she saw it. Later that evening, Sonia followed Faith into one of the guest rooms and shut the door.
Tell me the truth. What happened to your face? It's nothing, Sonia. I just hit the door. Stop. Look at me. Did Kenneth do this? I said I'm fine. I'm just tired. That's not what I asked you. Did he do it? Your silence is already telling me everything.
Sonia stepped closer. Faith, listen to me. This is not normal. A man should not touch you in anger. Not once, not ever. Faith's lips trembled, but she still defended him. He was upset. We argued. It won't happen again. Sonia looked at her. Women say that every day. Some of them don't live long enough to say it twice. Faith looked down. Sonia held her shoulders. Leave that house. Come back to work with me. Bring the kids. Stay with me if you want. We will figure it out. Before Faith could answer, their mother walked in. She had been listening. Sharp tone. What kind of advice is that? Sonia turned. The kind that can save her life. Their mother frowned. Save her life from what? Marriage has problems. Every marriage has issues. You don't tell a woman to leave her husband because of one misunderstanding. One misunderstanding? Sonia repeated. Mommy, look at her. Their mother lowered her voice. And what will people say? That my daughter could not keep her home? That at the first sign of trouble, she ran away? Firm tone. No, we will pray. She must be patient. Sonia stared at her in disbelief. Patient for beating? Patient for fear? Patient for abuse? Faith finally spoke, her voice weak. Sister, please, don't make this bigger than it is. Sonia stepped back. Something cold moved through her chest. Not anger, not yet. Something worse. Deep down, Sonia knew one terrible thing. If Faith stayed, this would not end well.
Faith did not leave. Instead, she stayed in the marriage and slowly disappeared inside it. At first, Sonia kept calling every day, morning and late at night. She checked on the children. She invited Faith over. She begged her to return to the fashion house. Before marriage, Faith was one of the most trusted accountants in Sonia's company. Smart, organized, calm under pressure. She helped keep the business steady in the early years. Sonia had always planned to make her more than staff.
She wanted her sister beside her for life. But Kenneth changed all of that. He came into Faith's life looking polished, confident. He knew how to speak well. He knew how to charm older people. He knew exactly when to quote scripture and exactly when to act humble. Their mother loved him almost immediately. He said he wanted a peaceful home. He said he wanted a soft, respectful wife. He said he had big plans for Faith. After the wedding, his real face came out. First, he told Faith to stop working. Why should my wife be under stress? I have plans for you. I will set up your own business. Something better, bigger. You will thank me. Faith believed him. Then, he asked her to send him all her savings. He said he would add to it and establish her dream business. She did. Every naira she had saved for years gone into Kenneth's hands. Nothing happened after that. Whenever she asked, he had an excuse. The money is tied down. The market is not stable. Let me sort one issue first. Don't you trust your husband? Then came the children. 2 beautiful kids, a boy and a girl. Faith loved them with everything in her. She told herself to endure for them. She told herself their father would change. She told herself other women had worse marriages and survived. But Kenneth only became worse. He insulted her in front of the children. He controlled what she wore. He checked her phone. He shouted when she laughed too much. He called her disrespectful over small things. He slapped her, then came back with gifts, like pain could be covered with shopping bags. Sonia started hearing more, because Lagos talks. Drivers hear things, neighbors hear things, domestic staff hear everything. Kenneth was bringing women into the house, different women, into the same home where Faith was raising his children, into the same house where she cried herself to sleep. When Sonia confronted her, her voice shook with anger. You are still there? After all this? He beats you and cheats openly? Faith's face hardened. Stay out of my marriage. Sonia went quiet. Then, Faith spoke again, and her words cut deep. You don't understand because you are not married. Maybe you are angry because I got married before you. Sonia stared at her like she had just been slapped. Is that what you think? Faith looked away. People already talk. If I leave, they will laugh at me. They will mock me. They will say I could not keep a man. Let them talk, Sonia snapped. Better gossip than a grave. But their mother sided with Faith again. She must endure and pray, she said. Don't put rebellion in her heart. Sonia almost laughed. Rebellion? That was what they called survivor. One evening, Sonia went to Faith's house unannounced. Kenneth was not home. The children were asleep on the couch. Faith sat in the dim light, thin, tired. The house was beautiful, expensive, well furnished, but it felt cold, like a prison with nice curtains. Sonia sat beside her.
You can still leave. It's not too late. I don't even know where to start. Start with me. I'm here. We'll figure it out together.
Then her phone rang. Kenneth. Her body tensed immediately. Sonia watched her answer in a small voice. Yes? Yes, I'm at home. Yes, I'm coming. When the call ended, Faith pulled her hand away. You need to go. Sonia stood up. She looked at her sister, really looked at her, and she saw it clearly. Fear had become a habit, and habits like that are hard to break. As she walked out, Sonia told herself she would not give up, but the truth was already there. Faith was drowning, and the people who should have helped her were teaching her how to sink quietly. The call came a little after midnight. Sonia was still awake, working on sketches in her home office in Ikoyi, when her phone rang. One of Faith's neighbors was calling. Sonia answered with a bad feeling already rising in her chest. The woman on the other end was panicking, Madam Sonia, please come. Please come now. They have carried Faith. For 1 second, Sonia could not move. Then everything happened fast. She grabbed her keys and ran out. Her driver tried to ask questions, but she was already in the car, already shouting the address, already calling Faith's phone again and again. No answer. She called Kenneth. Switched off. She called her mother. No answer at first. Then finally, a sleepy voice, confused, slow, not understanding the storm that had arrived. When Sonia reached the house, the street was crowded. Neighbors stood outside in nightwear, whispering. Some were recording. Some looked shocked. Some looked like they had known this day would come. Sonia pushed through them and entered the house. Faith was gone. They had taken her to the hospital. But deep down, Sonia already knew. The air in that house told the story. A broken flower vase on the floor, one chair turned over, a child crying inside one of the rooms, blood on the edge of a table. Silence, so heavy it felt like judgment. Kenneth was nowhere to be found. At the hospital, they told Sonia what she never wanted to hear. Faith was dead, abused until death. For a long moment, Sonia just stood there, staring at the doctor. She heard the words, but her body refused to accept them. Dead. Faith. Her younger sister. The same girl who used to run into her room as a child. The same girl who borrowed her clothes without asking. The same girl who once said, "Sonia, when I marry, you'll be my best person." Gone. Their mother collapsed when she arrived. She screamed Faith's name again and again. This time, there was no talk about what people would say, no speech about patience, no advice about endurance. The daughter she told to stay had stayed until she died. The news exploded before sunrise. Social media picked it up first. Someone posted that a young mother in Lagos had died from domestic violence. Then blogs picked it up. Then bigger pages. Then gossip platforms. Then serious media. People posted old wedding pictures beside headlines about death. Friends began sharing stories. Former staff whispered about things they had seen. Neighbors spoke about years of shouting, crying, and midnight violence. Kenneth's family moved quickly. By morning, they were already trying to control the story. They called it a domestic misunderstanding. They said Faith was fragile. They hinted at illness. Then they began offering money. Money to hospital staff, money to police contacts, money to community voices, money to anyone who could bury the truth. But this time, Sonia was not alone. She knew people. Not because she chased power, but because she had built a real name in Lagos. Clients, lawyers, journalists, women in government, activists, business leaders. People who respected her because she earned it. And now, she used every connection she had. She did not sleep. She made calls. She arranged legal support. She demanded full reports. She got press attention. She spoke to women's groups. She pushed the case until it became too public to bury. And then, something else happened. The recordings started coming out. One domestic staff member released voice notes. A neighbor shared videos. A friend revealed messages Faith had sent in fear. In those messages, Faith wrote what she could never say out loud. "If anything happened to me, hold Kenneth." That one line changed everything. Now, the case was no longer rumor. It was evidence. Kenneth went into hiding. But Lagos is loud and small at the same time. People talk, money moves, faces are seen. He was found. At Faith's funeral, Sonia stood beside the coffin in black, dry-eyed, holding herself together by force. The children were too young to understand. Their mother was gone, and the adults around them were drowning in guilt, rage, and pain. Sonia looked at Faith's face one last time, and something changed inside her. This was no longer just grief. It had become war, and she was going to finish it.
The court case lasted months, but Sonia fought it like a woman who had nothing left to fear. Kenneth's family came prepared. Money, influence, pride. They hired expensive lawyers. They dressed in white and spoke softly outside the courtroom, as if innocence could be worn like clothing. They tried everything: delay, denial, confusion, sympathy. They said Kenneth was being framed. They said social media had poisoned the story. They even said he was a victim too. But facts do not disappear because rich people are uncomfortable. The evidence was too much. Medical reports confirmed the abuse. Witnesses spoke. Neighbors described screams, threats, repeated violence. Former workers confirmed Kenneth brought different women into the house and treated Faith like a servant. Financial records showed Faith's savings went into his control. Message after message showed fear, control, isolation, and manipulation. Then came the hardest moment. Sonia stepped into the witness box. The courtroom went silent. She did not perform. She did not exaggerate. She told the truth about the bruise she first saw, about the warnings she gave, about the day Faith said she was jealous, about her mother's fear of shame, about the offers she made to help her sister leave, about the night the call came. At one point, Kenneth looked at her with cold eyes, but Sonia did not look away. You thought silence would protect you. You thought marriage would cover your violence. You thought money would bury my sister. But faith matters. Her life matters. That statement spread everywhere. Women across the country began speaking. Some said they were told to stay. Some said they were warned not to embarrass the family. Some said they were seeing their own lives in Faith's story. Suddenly, this was no longer just one case in Lagos. It became a conversation everywhere.
When Judgment Day came, the courtroom was full. Sonia sat in front, dressed in black. Their mother sat beside her, quieter now, broken by regret. She held a handkerchief the entire time. Since Faith's death, she had changed. She no longer spoke about what people would say. Now she understood. People will always talk, but her daughter would never speak again. The judge spoke for a long time, but only one part mattered. Kenneth was found guilty. Justice did not bring Faith back. It did not erase the fear she lived with. It did not return the years she lost. But it mattered. Because the world had tried to teach her to suffer quietly. Because people had tried to close the case with money. Because one day, her children would grow up and know their mother was not forgotten. After the case, Sonia made a decision. She opened a foundation in Faith's name, not for attention, not for headlines, for women. Women hiding bruises, women trapped in perfect-looking homes, women told to pray harder when they needed protection, women told to stay for the children, women told marriage is endurance, women with money but no support, women with support but no courage yet, women like Faith. Sonia also took in the children and raised them as her own. Years later, people still talked about the case. But Sonia had moved on from gossip. She focused on truth, on healing, on giving other women the one thing Faith ran out of: time. And sometimes, late at night, when Lagos was quiet and the city lights stretched far into the distance, Sonia would think of her sister. She would remember everything: the laughter, the stubbornness, the softness, the pain. And she would say into the silence, I tried to save you. I wish you had come. The pain never fully left. But Sonia kept going. Because Faith's story did not end in that house. It ended in court. It ended with justice. And in a city where too many women are told to endure, that ending mattered.